Three heads, old yang. Two heads, one tail, young yin. Two tails, one head, young yang. First trigram of our primary hexagram, solid, broken, solid, is lead, fire, and light. Two heads, one tail, young yin. Looks like Oscar the Grouch. Two heads, one tail, young yin. three tails, old yin. Broken, broken, broken. For our top or outer trigram is Kun Earth. As I said, the bottom trigram of our, or inner trigram of our primary hexagram will be read as solid, broken, solid. This is Li, fire and light. Li is fire and light, both inner and outer. As in inner light, she is consciousness at its most lucid and unclouded, holding things together in the mind, perceiving their differences and connections, and discerning the underlying patterns of relationship. And as well as vision, Li is the light that makes things visible, the power to cast light on things, spreading clarity and the awareness of order. Li is the middle daughter, living in the south, the region of midsummer and the burning sun. Our top or outer trigram of our primary hexagram will be read as broken, broken, broken. Again, this is Kun Earth. Kun is earth, open to receive and support what comes to her, providing for its full development. She makes inspiration manifest, gives it form, and sustains its growth. Earth is available to be used, ready to lend her strength to the work without limit. She protects and accepts all things in their totality, present and potential, in an unconditional embrace. Earth is mother, found in the southwest and the harvest time of late summer and early autumn. Kun Earth, above Li, fire and light, give us the primary hexagram of 36. Once our first and sixth lines transform, old yang will become young yin, old yin will become young yang. That will give us a bottom or inner trigram for our supporting hexagram of broken, broken, solid. This is the trigram Gen Mountain. The mountain is still. It is a limit where you must stop. Gen brings each cycle to an end, defining a space where we can recognize, assimilate, and complete our experience. He creates a personal still center amid change, where we can retreat for perspective and a firm foundation for new growth. He is well-grounded, confident, and of independent spirit. He is still and knows. Mountain is the youngest son, child of maturity. In the cycle of directions and seasons, he is the northeast, late winter approaching spring, the pivot between cycles. Once our sixth line transforms, we will have a top or outer trigram for our supporting hexagram of broken, broken, solid. Again, that's Gen Mountain. So Gen Mountain above Gen Mountain give us the hexagram 52. We'll be getting the titles to our hexagrams from I-ming's Taoist I Ching, which he wrote in 1796 as a Taoist adept. It's quite alchemical in nature and very 76C type language, if you read my drift. 36, our primary hexagram, I-ming calls concealment of illumination, withdrawing effort after illumination, not using illumination lightly, being enlightened yet conforming to the times. Yeesh. Didn't give myself enough space to write that word. And 52, our supporting hexagram, I-ming calls mountain, nurturing energy by quietude. We'll start the reading off commentary-wise with Hilary Barrett's I Ching, Walking Your Path, Creating Your Future. It's a nice introductory I Ching commentary. Hexagram 36, Hilary Barrett calls brightness hidden. Cool little image here. When we approach the I Ching to consult the oracle, the question we bring to it will always have the general context of how can I act in creative relation with the spirits or forces shaping this moment of time. Key questions. When no one is looking, who are you? How do you safeguard that light? Oracle, brightness hidden. Constancy in hardship bears fruit. In the last days of the Shang dynasty, as it fell into corruption, Prince Ji was one of the very few virtuous men remaining at court. Remonstrating with the ruler would invite brutal retributions. To flee would be a shameful desertion. The story goes that once the king and his entourage were so drunk they literally didn't know what day it was, messengers were sent to ask Ji. Rather than reveal himself as the only one who knew, he feigned drunkenness and madness. In this way, he was able to survive through the last days of Shang without compromising his principles by cooperating with the regime. Brightness hidden also means brightness wounded. Since others do not share your standards or insight, it would be dangerous to let the light of your character shine out freely. Perhaps you have been injured, perhaps you fear injury, yet you cannot or will not leave the situation in search of a stronger position. Instead, you stay true to the light and keep it burning in these hard times by hiding it away. Image. Brightness enters the earth's center, brightness hidden. A noble one overseeing the crowds uses darkness and light. Light enters the earth's center at night. The sun will rise again in the morning. The darkness is simply part of a natural cycle. The noble one understands and uses it as such, in balance with light. There is no need to let the full glare of your insight shine forth all the time, or to force your understanding on those who might not want it. Sequence. Brightness hidden follows from hexagram 35, advancing. Advancing necessarily has occasion for injury, and so brightness hidden follows. Brightness hidden means injury. As you progress faster, shine more brightly, and expect more from yourself and from life, you naturally become more vulnerable. And our supporting hexagram, which puts our primary hexagram in a broader context and influence, a direction of travel, an underlying issue that has to do with you and your relationship to it all. Hexagram 52, stilling. Key questions. What if there were nothing you had to do now? What if there were nowhere else you had to be? Where is your inner point of balance? Oracle. Stilling your back, not grasping yourself, moving in your rooms, not seeing your people, not a mistake. To still yourself is to come to rest in your own right place. It's not the opposite of motion, but of being pushed into motion by outside influences. Whether you move or stop is determined inwardly by your sense of the nature of the time. Attaining this kind of stillness means firmly, even stubbornly, resisting the forces that would disrupt your equilibrium. Hold yourself still, as if in meditation. Don't seek to grasp yourself by hunting down your every thought. You can no more make them stop by force of will than you can make your back still by holding it with your hands. Instead of twisting and spinning in circles, trying to grasp yourself, keep still. In the same way, you can move freely in your rooms or the chambers of your mind, which can be just as crowded, and simply not see the other people there because you hold yourself still and do not resonate with them. Even if you feel as if you ought to be constantly sensitive to their presence and needs, in a time of stilling, it is no mistake to exclude all these things and be quiet within yourself. Image. Joined mountains, stilling. A noble one reflects and does not come forth from his situation. Whatever upheavals take place around it, the mountain is still. The noble one in his environment is like two mountains, joined together, present to one another, and not reacting. He is still inwardly and reflects. He is still outwardly, staying within his situation, not seeking to act on it or escape from it. Outer and inner stillness reinforce one another. Sequence. Stilling follows from Hexagram 51, shock. Things cannot end with stirring up, stop them. And so stilling follows, which means stopping. There's a natural alternation between change and stillness. And in human experience, a time of shock and reactions to reactions to reactions eventually needs to be stilled. Change consolidated and equilibrium restored. First, the drum is struck, and the spreading vibrations set the whole drum head quivering. Then you bring your hand down to damp the vibrations and still the drum. Next, we will read our changing lines 1 and 6 of our primary hexagram 36, which put a pin in the map to say you are here, or at least here are some places you may find yourself. They take precedence over all other elements and are the most focused part of the reading. Each has its own general context. That of 1, inklings just beginning to sense what could be involved or needed. That of 6, beyond the main action, reviewing experience, asking what comes next. Hexagram 36, changing line 1. Brightness hidden, flying away, his wings hanging down. The noble one is on the move. For 3 days eats nothing, has a direction to go. Those in authority have something to say. You are in flight like a tired, wounded bird away from the place where you failed or were hurt. But for the noble one, this is about more than just self-preservation. He still has a light to carry and care for, and a direction to go. Adversity will not make him give up. He is focused single-mindedly on his purpose. It's best to start such a journey alone, without stopping to join with others and blend your thinking with theirs. You travel more lightly if you don't take other people's ideas on board. Those who preside over this space and govern its culture will naturally have something to say about a purpose so different from theirs. Your life would certainly be easier if you could have their support, but in its absence, you will safeguard your light by carrying it away. Changing line 6 of Hexagram 36. Not bright, dark, at first rises up to heaven, later enters into the earth. The sun rises high in the sky, and then at night it enters into the earth. Light and dark are balanced in the natural cycle, and neither lasts forever, so why be afraid of the dark? And from this perspective, you can also see that everything in your life must contain darkness as well as light, and you cannot build anything of pure light without clay. Let your aspirations rise to heaven and shine out brightly, but also enter deeply into the ordinary earth your experience grows from. Next, we will read from I-ming's Taoist I Ching, which he wrote in 1796 as a Taoist adept. It is quite alchemical in nature, and I-ming is my hero. Hexagram 36, Concealment of Illumination, Injury of Illumination. In concealment of illumination, it is beneficial to be upright in difficulty. Explanation. The name of this hexagram has two meanings. The word for concealment also means injury. In the qualities of the hexagram, above is earth, receptive, and below is fire, luminous. Illumination within receptivity, being illumined yet conforming to the times. Using accord to nurture illumination, it is therefore called concealment of illumination. Also, light being within darkness, there is illumination, but it is injured, so it is also called injury of illumination. This hexagram represents being personally illumined and truthful, withdrawing the firing. It follows on the previous hexagram, power of the great. Power of the great means strength in action. Being strong in action requires knowledge of when to advance and when to withdraw. If there is advance but not withdrawal, power is excessive and will surely injure the illumination. When illumination is injured, power is ruined. This is why the work of withdrawing the firing is important. Withdrawing the firing means concealing illumination in the most recondite, secret place and not using it lightly. In practice of the Tao, the reason for advancing the fire and using illumination is simply to advance to illumination because of not being illumined. Once one has advanced to illumination and inside and out are lucid and clear, then one can conceal one's illumination and nurture it unbeknownst to others, eventually to reach the realm of consummate good without evil, causing illumination to be free of any defect. Only then can it be said the fire returns to the origin, a mass of harmonious energy, which has energy but no substance, the original spirit of innate knowledge and capacity unobscured, neither material nor void, yet both material and void, not constrained by matter or voidness. Inside and out, all is illumined. Illumination that is not revealed is better than illumination that is openly employed. This illumination has no form or trace that can be espied. Only when there is no form or trace to be seen is it withdrawal of the firing so that the fire returns to the origin. But this withdrawal of the firing, the path returning to the origin, is also a reverse path. What is reversed? The illumination that is produced is reversed back inward, so there is illumination, but one doesn't use it oneself. Having illumination but not exercising it does not mean the vacant inaction can accomplish the task. Therein is the work of preventing danger and the path of constant recollection. The essential point is in returning when in difficulty, where one cannot be free. If one returns in favorable situations but cannot return in adverse circumstances, then the fire will not return to the origin and the light will not penetrate reality. Eventually, there is sure to be injury. Therefore, in concealment of illumination, it is beneficial to be upright in difficulty. Maintaining correctness in difficulty, withdrawing in accord with the time, illumination does not suffer injury, and the basis of the elixir does not leak away. This is referred to by the classic understanding reality in the lines, even if you know the cinnabar and lead, if you don't know the firing process, it is of no use. It all depends on the power of practical application. If you deviate even slightly, you won't crystallize the elixir. The rule of spiritual alchemy is in the firing. Too little firing and the elixir doesn't form. Too much firing and the elixir is damaged. When the elixir has been completed, you should quickly halt the firing, rest, and gently nurture it, keeping to the center and embracing the one, deeply concealing the illumination in imperceptibility, not allowing so much as a spark of fire. In our supporting hexagram, which puts our primary hexagram in a broader context and influence, a direction of travel, an underlying issue that has to do with you and your relationship to it all, hexagram 52, mountain. Stopping at the back, one does not have a body. Walking in the garden, one does not see a person. No fault. Explanation. Mountain represents stopping, stillness. In the body of the hexagram, one yang rests on top of two yins. The yang is above, the yin is below. Yang governs yin, and yin obeys yang, so the celestial is not damaged by the mundane. Inwardly still and outwardly still, one stops inside and also stops outside. Because one's stillness pervades inside and outside, it is called mountain. This hexagram represents nurturing energy by quietude, discerning the good and holding fast to it. It follows on the previous hexagram, the cauldron. In the cauldron, one follows an initiatory process to produce illumination. Illumination comes from following the procedure. Illumination, reaching everywhere without becoming defective anywhere, refines the great elixir. But if you want to refine the great elixir, you cannot do so unless you discern the good and hold fast to it, staying in the proper place. Staying in the proper place does not mean empty inaction. The path has both action and stillness, and both action and stillness must stay in the proper place. In the qualities of the hexagram, the inner stopping means stillness staying in the proper place, and the outer stopping means action staying in the proper place. By stillness, you develop the abode of rest. By action, you test the abode of rest. By the former stopping, you reach the latter stopping. By the latter stopping, you master the former stopping. Action and stillness both end up in a single stillness. Stillness upon stillness is like the one stopping on the back of the other. Therefore, the text says, stopping at the back. Stopping on the back of stopping is acting from stillness, testing stillness with action. So action and stillness are one continuum. Then stillness does not become empty quietism, and action does not become unbridled indulgence. Action is none other than stillness. Stillness none other than action. Stillness is of course still. Action too is still. Inside and outside are one stillness, staying in the proper place without shifting. Therefore, one does not have a body. Walking in the garden, one does not see a person. Not having a body means there is no self. Walking in the garden, not seeing a person, means there are no others. Ordinary people discriminate between self and others, inside and outside, because they have consciousness. When there is consciousness, there is self.